All right, Troy, so I'll show you how I do this, and I will try to animate it to each side. So the first thing I need to do is I need to figure out where the perpendiculars will hit each side. So I'm going to go ahead and construct my perpendiculars, and then I will go around the triangle and put in the feet of the perpendiculars. And then I'm going to hide these because I don't need these things showing. So I'll hide those. And I will, instead of having these all grow at one time, I will do one after the other. So I'll drop one down to this one first. So the first thing I will do is I'm going to dilate, I want to make a dilation of a point, but I need to create like a number that I can use to animate. So I will insert a text and I will go IFFN. So if it's like an if then statement that returns a number. And I will go as long as V1 is less than or equal to 1, I want to return what V1 is, else I want to return 1. And then I'm going to calculate using, of course, I never know why I need, somehow my settings are set up to return fractions, but that's okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this point, I'm going to dilate it. So I'm going to take this point, dilate it to that point, and I'm going to use that fraction. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw a segment. Points and lines, I always forget what the heck it is. From here to there. And then I'm going to hide that point. So here's what it looks like. And then I like to kind of drag my slider along. I like to have a pause. So I'll make my next animation starting at like 2.5 seconds. I'll go from this point over to there. So I'm going to hide this. I don't need that anymore. And I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to do another text. IFFN, not, there you go. So when 2 is less than or equal to V1, which is going to be less than 3, I want to return V1 minus 2 this time. Else I want to return a 1. And I'm going to calculate this. And I'll press L to get V1. That's 7/20. Go figure. I'm going to do the dilation thing again. So I want to go from here to there using that point. And then I'm going to grab a segment. I'll go from here to there. I'm going to hide that point. And there's probably there's not a whole lot of points there. I thought there would be. So now when I drag it, now I need to set up this segment. I only want this segment to show up when it's after 2. So I'm going to go to the conditions and I want whenever 2 is less than or equal to a V1 is when I'd like that segment to show up. So here's what this looks like now. So as I drag or drop my first perpendicular, there's my next perpendicular. And I can do the same thing for my third perpendicular if I wanted to. But I'll hide that statement. And I will hide that statement. And so I'll drop the next one down, but that's kind of how I do it. I just sequence all of my animations. I usually make the entire construction first, and then I sequence my animations with my slider, and that's typically how I work the slider. So let me know if that makes sense, man.